What is up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Galaxy A20 versus the iPhone 7. So it's pretty interesting because they're around the same price point, $200 unlocked. You can get these both for cheaper if you shop around on eBay and try to get a deal. So let's go ahead and get started. So design wise, the A20 is a plastic build and still has a nice premium feel to it. It is a kind of glossy, kind of fingerprint magnet on the back if you get this color. Now you do have the fingerprint scanner, Samsung logo, dual cameras, and also the LED flash. You also have your power button and volume rocker. And then you have USB Type-C at the bottom, your headphone jack, and you also have one single firing speaker. Now with the iPhone, you're getting a bit more premium feeling phone. It's pretty much a metal phone. This is the kind of matte version, so you're not getting fingerprints. You do have a single camera, a LED flash, little glossy Apple logo. You also get your power button right here, as well as your volume rockers and your mute switch. At the bottom you have the charging port and stereo speakers. Alright, so looking at both phones from the front, you can see a huge difference with the design. The A20 just looks overall more modern. You have just huge bezels on the iPhone. So you do have a Super AMOLED display. It's a 6.4 inch. It's a massive display compared to the iPhone's 4.7 inch. It is a 720p display, 268 for the PPI. Now the iPhone, like I said, has a 4.7 inch display. It is an IPS LCD. It is a 720p display as well, 326 for the PPI. It's a very nice and bright display actually. So if we load up some video on here, we can get a better idea of the color accuracy on here. So as you can see, the Super AMOLED display is just much better looking. It's way more color accurate than the IPS on the iPhone, and also you just have slimmer bezels. You do have a little water drop notch, which is not too intrusive. Now I'm not going to knock the iPhone for having a smaller display, because some people like small displays, but it does have kind of an outdated design with these huge bezels and stuff like that. So you do have this little home button right here. It is capacitive, which I really love. So overall, the A20's display is just much better for media consumption. Now let's check out the speaker quality on the A20. So you do have stereo speakers on the iPhone and one single speaker. So they're about the same in volume. The iPhone does give a fuller sound, a little bit more crisp and clear, but they're about the same volume. It's just overall better sound coming out of those stereo speakers. Now on the iPhone, you are running the latest version of iOS 13, the Apple A10 chip, and you also have no expandable storage, 32 gigs of storage and 2 gigs of RAM. Now with the A20, you are running Android 9 on top of One UI. This will receive Android 10. And you do have the Exynos 7884 processor along with the Mali G71, and you do have micro SD support up to 1 terabyte, and you do have 32 gigs of storage and 3 gigs of RAM. So the iPhone will actually play games on high, surprisingly, PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, except for Fortnite. And this is kind of playing games at medium settings, so the iPhone is a little bit more powerful than the A20. Alright, let's do a speed test, clear out all the applications. Let's go ahead and try YouTube. 3, 2, 1. iPhone got it there. Let's go ahead and try the cameras. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and try Call of Duty Mobile. 3, 2, 1. So as you can see, iPhone is finished. The A20 just finished. Alright, for the cameras, you have a 13 megapixel wide and you have a 5 megapixel ultra wide on the A20, shoots in 1080p max, and 8 megapixel front facing camera that also shoots in 1080p. Now on the iPhone, you have one 12 megapixel camera that shoots in 2160p, so big difference, 30 frames per second, and a 7 megapixel front facing camera that shoots in 1080p. Alright, so here are some stills that I took. So here on the iPhone, kind of zoom in. Which picture do you guys think looks better? Which one do you guys prefer? Here's another picture of the mic. Looks very, very good on both these phones. So as you can see, both phones are excellent at taking pictures. Gives you a lot of detail with both photos, as you can see. Now the iPhone, as you can see on this one, was able to keep a lot more detail here. Here's another photo outside, and as you can see, there's a big difference with color on the A20. It just gives off some really beautiful, lush and vibrant colors. Very, very beautiful to look at. So I think for cameras, if you're looking for just a good camera phone, both of these are great. You do have the advantage of the ultra wide on here, unlike on the iPhone, which is nice. So you can take, wider shots, which is excellent. So here's an example of the forest, and then as you can see, I was able to get much more in that shot. Very, very nice. So both these phones have NFC for mobile payments. The A20 has a headphone jack, which is very important, at least for me. You do not have that on the iPhone 7, but the iPhone is IP68 or 67 certified, so you can get this thing wet in the water, no problem, and it won't break instantly. Now, as far as getting into the phone, the fingerprint scanner on both these phones work extremely fast. You can see no problems, pretty much instant on the A20, even though it's on the back, and then on the iPhone you have it on the front. So it just depends on which one do you prefer. You're gonna have to pick the A20 up if it's on a table, obviously, and on the iPhone you can just kind of, just right there, and on the A20 you have to pick it up. So that just comes down to which one you prefer. So here's another huge difference is battery life. So you have a 1060 milliamp battery, which will get you around 4 to 5 hours, and on the A20 you have a 4000 milliamp battery, which will get you around 8 hours of screen on time. So as you can see, it's like night and day with battery life. So you're getting almost a day and a half of battery life with this phone if you're a light user. And with this phone, you can squeeze a day out of it. You're just going to be running to the charger at the end of the day. Now, another thing is iOS kind of versus Android. So, my whole thing is what I tell people. If you have a lot of friends that, use iMessage and FaceTime, then you might want to consider an iPhone. But I think the A20 is definitely the better pickup for your money. It's just got the better display. And it's got all the same specs, and I think you can pick it up for a little cheaper if you get it on a prepaid carrier. So it just comes down to that. The cameras are pretty much on par with each other. And yeah, it has the headphone jack, which is a big advantage. So if you're not really into the Apple ecosystem, then you might want to consider the A20. So thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.